Hi, boys and girls. I'm Aunt Gingy, one of Miss Kathy's friends. I have a story to share with you today, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. A snake and a dream. I don't feel good, Willie said as he rolled into the kitchen where his mother was fixing supper. He held his stomach. The smell of food was making it worse. Mrs. Tiller frowned as she checked Willie's forehead. "You do feel warm," she said with a sad smile. "I guess it was just a matter of time before you got what everyone else in your class has had. Let's get you comfortable so you can rest and sleep if you feel like it." The next morning, Willie felt even worse. He didn't even feel like getting out of bed. His mother brought him some fruit and a little bit of cereal. After she took Willie's temperature, she shook her head. "Well, you won't be going to school today, that's for sure." Willie finished his breakfast and sank back into his pillow. "I won't be able to go to Sabbath School tomorrow either, will I?" Mother shook her head. "I don't think so." "I'm already tired of being sick," Willie complained. "Now I'll miss Sabbath School, and I won't get to see my friends." Sabbath morning, Willie felt a little better, but just the thought of food made his stomach hurt. "Do I have to eat, Mom?" he asked when his mother came into his room to check him. Mrs. Tiller nodded. "Eating will keep your strength up and help you fight this virus. It might help you feel well enough for a surprise this morning." "A surprise?" Mom smiled. "Yes, I have a very nice surprise, but you have to eat first." I wonder what the surprise would be, Willie thought. I guess I could eat breakfast if it means getting a surprise. Just as he took the last swallow of his orange juice, the doorbell rang. Willie heard voices in the living room, but he couldn't tell who was there or what they were saying. Then the doorbell rang again, and again, and again. I wonder what's going on, he thought. Before long, he heard a knock on his bedroom door. "Anyone home?" a voice called. It was Mrs. Shoe, and behind her stood his friends from the shoebox. "Hi, Willie," everyone said at the same time. "We wanted to cheer you up, so we decided to have our Sabbath School class here today." "Just don't give us what you have," Maria said. She and Jenny and Dee Dee sat on some chairs Mrs. Taylor brought in. Chris and Sammy sat on Willie's bed. "I read my lesson last night twice," Willie said. "It's a really neat story." Dee Dee made a face. "You like snakes that much?" "I made my mom read it to me. I couldn't stand reading about all those snakes by myself." "What was the lesson teaching us?" Mrs. Shoe asked. "Does anyone know?" Sammy raised his hand. God wanted to teach the children of Israel about Jesus, who would come to die for them. That's why the metal serpent was placed on a pole, just like Jesus would be hung on the cross. I like best that just because the people had faith in God and looked at the snake on the pole, they were healed. "I wonder why some people didn't believe," Jenny asked. Willie lay there and listened with a big smile. He loved being with his shoebox friends. After the lesson and a few songs, everyone had to leave. "Get well soon, Willie," Mrs. Shoe said. "See you later," Sammy called. Willie looked at his mother. "I really like my surprise. Thanks for inviting them." He yawned. "Can I just rest for a while? I'm tired." "Of course you can," Mom said. By the time she shut the door, Willie's eyes were already closed. "Willie! Willie!" Willie opened his eyes. It was dark. "Psst! Psst! Over here," Chris's voice said. "We're coming in." Willie tried to focus his eyes. Why aren't there any windows? After all, I do have a big window in my room. Maybe it's night already, he thought. 5 shapes crawled over to Willie. "Hey, Willie, how do you feel?" "I'm still sick," Willie answered. "Where am I? And why are you guys wearing towels on your heads?" "You're in your tent, of course." You really are still sick, Jenny said. Tent? Where? I'm not camping. Sammy sighed. We've been camping all our lives, and our parents have been camping all their lives. Moses says it's about time to go to the promised land, though. But you got bit by a snake, remember? Willie shook his head. No, I don't remember. I've just got a bad cold. He's sicker than we thought, Maria said. We better hurry and get him out so he can look at the serpent. You do believe in God, right, Willie? You do believe you will be healed if you look at the serpent like God said, don't you? Jenny asked. I guess so. Doesn't everyone? Willie asked. Maria shook her head slowly. Willie could see the sad expressions on the faces of his friends. You mean some people don't believe? A lot of people have died because they didn't believe God would heal them, Chris said. Well, let's hurry, Willie exclaimed. Take me out to the serpent so I can look at it. I believe. Willie leaned back on his stretcher as his friends picked him up and carried him out of his tent. He saw sick people going one direction, and he saw well people coming back. Hurry, he urged, hurry. Chris stumbled over a rock. Sammy was sweating. Everyone was breathing hard. Look, Dee Dee said, pointing. It was a long pole with a shiny gold-colored snake hanging at the top. Willie's friends set him down in front of it and backed away. Willie looked at the serpent with all the faith he had within him. I believe you, God, he prayed silently. I know you will heal me. Willie, Willie. Someone was shouting at him. Leave me alone for a minute, he started to shout. Then someone started shaking him. His eyes popped open. Oh, Mom, he exclaimed. I dreamed I was in the Israelite camp and I was bitten by a snake. And my friends carried me to Moses' snake on the pole. And I looked at it. It was so real. You must have had an amazing dream, Mrs. Tiller said. Sometimes a fever can make your dreams seem very real. She felt Willie's forehead again. I think your fever's gone down, though. That's good. Mom, why wouldn't everyone believe Moses and look at the snake on the pole? Mom stroked Willie's head. For the same reason they complained about the water and everything else. They didn't trust Moses or God. They never believed that God really loved them. I would have looked, Willie said. I would have believed God. I know you would have, his mother agreed, because you know that God loves you. Now, do you feel even a little bit hungry for lunch? Suddenly, Willie decided that he felt a lot better and he was hungry again. I'm starving.
The story you have heard today is from the Shoebox Kids Bible Stories, written by Jerry D. Thomas and used with permission from the Pacific Press Publishing Association. If you're interested in any other books published by the Seventh-day Adventist Church, please visit AdventistBookCenter.com or call 1-800-765-6955.
This podcast is a production of the Carolina Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.